Okay, so for the electronics, to assemble the Apple, you can pop whatever lights you want in there. It's up to you. But the reason why I made this one the way I have is that all the other Apples with minimal LEDs in them kind of suck. So I'm using this strip by Adafruit called a NeoPixel strip. These pixels are nicely spaced together, and I use 17 NeoPixels to get my lighting effect. Now, the circuit, and I'll put the circuit diagram up, is made up of a trinket, a 5-volt trinket. That's a power boost to go along with the lithium polymer battery. And a momentary capacitive touch. The momentary capacitive touch has little wires soldered onto that point that are just attached to a 5-volt grub screw. The 5-volt grub screw sits at the bottom of the Apple. So that way you won't see it, it blends in with the gold nicely. All you have to do is just hold a finger when you momentarily touch, it sets off the circuit, and you get the lighting effect going. Alright, so I'll just show snippets of how I assemble this as I go and take it from there. Okay, so this is my Apple core, and the trinket fits in neatly on the one side with the power boost on the other end, and those two fits together like that. And that fits on there. Now what I do is I solder it all together first and then assemble it, and I make sure that the wires run from here. Try to not to have too many wires because I wrap the LED strip around this. So what I'll then do is connect up, before I do assemble that all as well, is I need to first screw in the 5mm grub screw in there to get the thread. I then solder a piece of wire to the 5mm grub screw, just one wire, and then one wire then touches to my momentary capacitive touch sensor, and that fits in that space right at the bottom, which is below the battery. The battery sits on top of that. Now just be very, very careful when you do this to make sure that there are no wires or anything sticking out of the bottom where the momentary capacitive touch sits, right at the bottom over there. Nothing must protrude from there to puncture the battery. So as I experienced once, if you puncture this battery, you get a lot of smoke and can be dangerous. So just be very, very careful with that. Let's see if we go this route. Alright, so next I'll just turn in my grub screw in there just to get the thread going. I'll then start working on soldering up everything. Alright, so as per the circuit diagram, I've got my 5-volt output connected to my trinket, battery and ground, and that will take the 3.7-volt input of the lithium polymer battery to work on there. Now, FYI, that even 3.7 volts does work on a trinket, even with 5-volt LEDs. That is because even 70% of your battery power or voltage power will still make the circuit work. However, I'm using still the Power Boost 1000C, so that way I can use the USB recharger. So I can recharge the battery without having to disconnect it, take the whole Apple apart. I'll show you how that all works later. So as you can see, I've soldered on a wire that's just long enough so I can curl it around. As you can see, that wire is nice and neat. There's still a bit of play in there. Anyways, and the LEDs wrap around the core. Yeah. So as you can see with the LED strip, I've already soldered on my wires. And I'm using brown for ground, red for 5 volts, and orange for the signal. So the next step that I'm going to do is solder on my power boost. No, sorry, not the power boost, the momentary capacitive touch to a piece of wire to a grub screw. As you can see, I've got my capacitive touch at the bottom. grub screw attached. What I do just for safety is I put a bit of tape on top of that. Just for safety. I don't want that to pierce or to touch the circuits of the battery, which sits right on top of that. Right, so got my charger, plugged to the battery, trinket, LEDs, and moment to capacitor. As I'm touching the grub nut, you can see it lighting up. Now just to assemble. Right, next is just to assemble everything into the core. And as you can see, as then wind or wrap the LED strip around the core and then just attach it with a cable tie. I've got these two screws, these two hex screws that just holds it together on the bottom, and then on top one of the other pieces will hold it. There we go, that piece will hold it up. There you have it, fully assembled. Caps on and adjusted and set properly. You can see the blue light that's in there is just to show that there's power on the power boost. The one thing I haven't worked on is a switch, which I don't like switches on the outside, so I can still set one on the inside anyways. So to set it off, just touch capacitive touch, and away it goes. The lights out and touch.